I talk openly about gun rights and property rights. But you have to know that people who comprise the political elite in this country do not put the value on your property that you do. And it's just easier for them to say things like, well, we don't want to see a loss of human life over property. Well, not their property, your property. How much of a this is what you'll never get out of an elitist progressive. How much of a victim do I have to be before I have the right to defend my life and my property? If somebody comes at me with a bat and I have a gun, do I have to wait for them to raise the bat over their head? Do I have to wait for them to take a swing? Do I have to wait to get hit first? Is it the first rock through the window, the second rock through the window? Is it my wife screaming? Is it my child crying? Is it my car going on fire? When do I have the right to defend my life, my family, and my property? And you see, again, like anything else, getting a concrete answer on a progressive is something you'll never get. You'll get some vague, haphazardly thought out twaddle on, well, we don't, what do you want, vigilantism? No, vigilantism is when lynch mobs go looking for people they think are guilty after the event has occurred. Personal defense is stopping the event before it occurs. 1-866-695-PATRIOT. Let's see, Colin, Massachusetts. You're on the Wilkow Majority. Hello.
Hey, I'm a liberal. And
okay, good for you.
You were talking about the riots in Birmingham, right?
Birmingham, UK, London. It's spreading throughout the UK.
Yeah, so these are people, normal people, and you're talking about making it easier for normal people to get guns. But if it's easier to acquire a gun, wouldn't it be more dangerous when there is a riot? Wouldn't there be guns in the riot?
No, you see, that's the difference between law-abiding people and not law-abiding people. Not law-abiding people don't riot.
Well, they become criminals once they start to riot, but before that, I'm sure that
law-abiding people don't riot. And people who are law-abiding gun owners who've gone through the legal process of acquiring their firearms aren't going to use them in an illegal fashion because those weapons would be easily traced to them.
Well, I'm sure that not all of the people rioting were criminals before the riots. I'm saying that many of them could have acquired guns.
Okay.
Through legal process.
So you'd like to get rid of the Second Amendment here in the United States is what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying that if everyone can have guns, then it becomes extremely dangerous when someone decides to go and shoot a bunch of people.
Yeah, but again, law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
Law-abiding citizens.
Okay.
So what are you not understanding? These people are not law-abiding citizens.
Well, I'm saying when you look at riots, when you look at the riots in the 60s, these were all people who were law-abiding citizens until they joined these riots. So if you're a law-abiding citizen, you get...
Okay, what does that have to do with people losing their property, being killed defending their stores, having Molotov cocktails come through their windows?
No, I'm just saying it becomes even more dangerous if anyone can get a gun, if it becomes easier to get a gun.
So what is your answer? What are you trying? Evolve your thought here.
I'm saying that we need to attack gun ownership. We need to get rid of guns because guns are only made to take life. And
that's not true, sir. That's not true.
Well, if you want to own a gun, then, I mean, I guess you could want to protect yourself, but if other people own guns, then you're in danger.
Again, criminal usage versus not criminal usage.
Okay.
Having the gun doesn't mean you have the right to use it any way you want. It's not like, well, I have a gun, you have a gun, I could just shoot you.
No, that's true. But when gun laws are made more relaxed, it's easier for people to get guns, including people who will later use them in a criminal way.
But if they do, then they get arrested as the weapons that they've bought are now traced to them.
Okay, but someone's dead, sir.
Okay, so that's your whole, that you've evolved your entire thought process around that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're devaluing life.
Yes, I'm devaluing life. We're talking about people who are losing their homes and their property and their lives to violent rioters. What are they supposed to do? Just you want to talk about devaluing life? So I'm supposed to just die because you have a political grievance and feel like throwing a Molotov cocktail through my home. That's what you're saying? You're giving all of the rights and the privileges to hordes of animals who are taking the streets from law-abiding citizens.
Well, when gun laws are made more relaxed, it's easier for these people to get guns in their hands.
But criminals do not do things legally. That's why they're criminals. You're assuming that all of a sudden, on a Monday, these people were all law-abiding citizens filling out the paperwork, shopping in gun shops, and the next day they're going to go shooting up the town. That doesn't happen, sir.
I'm saying that it becomes much easier for anyone to get a gun when the laws are more relaxed, statistically.
Okay, so we have pretty relaxed gun laws in the United States. When was the last time you saw a riot where people just started shooting up the town?
Well, I haven't yet, but...
So you haven't. So we as a nation have some of the most relaxed gun laws, maybe not in the state of Massachusetts where you live.
Are you saying that gun laws incite riots? Or
No.
Are you saying I'm saying that gun laws incite riots?
You're saying that if the gun laws are liberalized, classically liberal, Second Amendment friendly, that all of a sudden the hordes of people out on the streets are all of a sudden going to have guns and they're going to start shooting up the town.
Well, I'm saying that we haven't had a good large riot since maybe early 70s, mid-60s.
You're not seeing these flash mobs that are taking place all over the country?
In America, violent
Yes,
riots.
in the United States, sir. You've been watching what's going on in Philadelphia and Milwaukee. These flash mobs that are popping up where groups of teenagers just go tearing through the streets, destroying property and harming people. You're not watching this?
All right. Well, as the world becomes more destabilized, as we're seeing more violent riots,
Colin, how old are you? For as smart as you sound, just tell me how old you are.
I'm 17. I'm very young.
Okay. So maybe when you get out of mommy and daddy's house and get out on your own and maybe you convince a girl to marry you and you have a child of your own in a home, you'll let the people throw a Molotov cocktail in there with your wife and child at home. And you'll do nothing because you're really intellectual.
No.
So what would you do? Be a man for a second. Be a man for a second. Don't be a little boy. Don't be a little boy in high school debate club where maybe you're the class president. Be a man for a second. Rioters are coming down your street. Your wife and your child are in the home, and somebody's got a Molotov cocktail. What does the man, Colin, do about it?
All right, first of all...
No, be a man. Be a man. No, this is big boy. This is big boy time. It's big boy time, Colin. Either answer the question or go back to the high school debate club.
You sound extremely immature for the mature
Okay,
one.
you have a nice time, little boy. Go back to your high school debate club and talk about global warming and why we need to have low flush toilets. 1-866-95-PATRIOT. This is the Wilkow majority, where big boys come to meet and debate. We're right, they're wrong. That's the end of the story. The arguments cannot be broken. Sirius XM Patriot.